I screwed this up.
We should have power by the end of today.
We screwed up.
Again.
Little miscalculation on our part. We got to take it out. Welcome to our channel. I'm Kathy and that's Rich, and we're building an off-grid earth-sheltered house here in the Adirondacks. Acting as our own self-contractors and doing a lot of our build DIY means we make a lot of mistakes. And today we're fixing a few of our mistakes as we strive to get our solar system hooked up so we can have power and pass our rough electrical and framing inspections.
Well, today we're working in the bathroom. We're going to try and finish up some of the odds and ends here. We got to finish drilling some anchor bolts. We're going to finish up some framing. And we're going to try and get working on the shower. This bottom plate was a little twisted, so I wedged it with a 2x4 so I can try and straighten it out. Good enough. A while ago when we were working on the drains, I screwed this up. So I figured while I had this thing out, I would try and chisel out this concrete. This drain piece needs to be able to recess below the concrete a little bit. So I should have never cemented this in, but I think we should be able to knock it out with this. Now I'm going to chisel it out. Oh. Let's see. That was one of the easier mistakes that I had to fix. You could even see down there, I don't know if you could see it, I see red tape and plastic. So that's right to the edge of the concrete where we poured. Right, so now you'll be able to see what's got to happen here. Of course, this thing will be set in some mortar mix, some mud to cement it down. Our shower drain will then fall inside of this. And our tile will be under, well, our tile will probably be right in there too. And then that's that. This piece is kind of ugly, but that's what happens when you have round walls. Maybe I'll put a block of wood in the middle.
The electrician and his guys are here today. Hopefully the last day. We've got a lot to finish up. We should have power by the end of today. I hope. Here's our junction box. All the wires are going to be coming in. They go in the ground. All the way over there. Wires coming down from the solar array. And we should have this sucker hooked up. Drilling another hole in my house?
Oh yeah.
Which one is that for?
Oh, the garage.
Oh, you said you do your best work in the dark, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Let's stop. It's like a fireproof material, so if there's a fire, it expands, whatever. But I'm using it to plug up this drain over here. I made it big so it'll fit tight. So that looks really good. Let me take a look at these batteries. Takes a little while to boot up. Communication network. So they want you to check the voltage, and they shouldn't vary more than 1/2 volt. 52.5 volts. That's perfect. That's what they should be. I'm glad about that. All right, well, this is more surprises. I thought that the batteries were going to go inside this box, but this looks like it's just a box to connect all the cables to.
All right, the electricians ran to lunch, but we have a problem, and Rich and I are racing right now to fix it before they get back. We didn't plan on space for the batteries and what's called a combiner box, and it takes up a lot of room. So we have to quick finish this wall and figure out how we're going to fit that in.
That's 6.5.
Well, we didn't make plans. We didn't realize we screwed up.
Again. I'm tired of screwing up. Oh, I kind of like it right there. What do you think?
Yep.
So the electrician said he was happy that the box is that big for all the extra wire. Alright, so now we got to power up the batteries, right? So they want you to start one battery at a time and wait like 10 seconds. After that one finishes booting up, then we boot up the next one. It says the system will boot up with power from the PV, the grid, or the batteries. Hang on, we're going to see if we can get some cool YouTube footage.
Yeah, blow this thing up.
As Mike goes up in smoke. Alright, if we'll check us out, turn on breakers for grid and load. Turn on PV disconnect knob to on. So far today you made 1.7 kilowatts.
Of course, the first day that we have our solar hooked up, this is what we get. Clouds. But it's so nice out. It's 64 degrees right now. It's beautiful. So, the well is working permanently. The lights are plugged in to an outlet, like a miracle. And our Solarc inverter is operating. The batteries are currently charging by generator because it's a cloudy day. So when we look at the Solarc, the solar panels are currently taking in 0.45 kilowatts. The generator is charging at 2.56 kilowatts. We're putting out 0.31 kilowatts to electric. And I don't know why that's negative.
So I think what that is the batteries are being charged. And there's a surplus of 2.
Got it. There's extra energy that's not being used. Yeah, if we fill it halfway, we'll see how much the pump uses when it's running.
Ready?
Yep. It jumped to 0.8. Ooh, 1.32. It's up and down.
What's nice about this well pump, right? It only does what it only spools up depending on how much water you're pulling out of it.
Right. We did purchase that pump specifically because we were going solar. And yeah, it only spools up as needed. So that's good. So we're back down to 0.31. And it varied the whole time you were running it. So yeah, it didn't use much at all, really. All right, next is we're going to turn off the lights. We're going to unplug the lights. So Go for it, Rich.
It's gonna get dark.
It didn't change at all. Oh, it did. It went down to 0.1. Now we're down to 100 watts. So those lights are drawing a ton of power to have on.
40 watts each, 200 watts, right?
200 watts at least, yeah. So that's the Solark 12K hybrid inverter. We have 3 Fortress E-Flex batteries, and each one is 5.4 kilowatts for a total of 16,200. And I'll just show you really quick what we have out here. So all the solar panels, there's 2 rows. They're wired in series and then in parallel. They go into this disconnect box and then they go down underground. The copper wire that you see there is our ground out here. And then these run underground through a trench and go into the dome here. And you might remember when Richie put that pipe in and everything, and that will all eventually be under dirt. The generator is running off the propane, which comes from all the way over there in a trench, and we have a lot happening right here. So we have the gas coming in to the house and then also going out to the generator over there. And the generator has 2 electrical connections. One is coming to the house from the generator. That's a huge wire, and that's charging up the batteries right now. That generator power goes only directly into the batteries. And then this is from the house to the generator for the carburetor heater and the battery tender. The battery tender is separate so that it's always ready to go when the generator needs to auto start. And when the batteries reach 30%, that generator will kick on. This other electrical, or maybe it's this one, I'm not sure which one, but the other one is for the garage. So we have a little bit of power going to the garage right now. So we're doing pretty good. So all the power, the solar charges directly to the batteries, and the generator charges directly to the batteries. We're completely off grid. Whenever any power is drawn from the house, it draws from the batteries. And this is our electric panel. And everything is labeled. We're in good shape. So the batteries are only at 55%. They were brand new, so they were low, and that's why the generator is charging them up so much. Right now, when they reach full capacity, the generator will stop. So it's day 2 with the solar system set up, and it is a sunny, beautiful day. This is at a 45-degree angle, by the way. Perfect would be about 43 degrees. Those 2 degrees aren't going to make that much of a difference. So it was just easier to build it at 45. Let's see what we got. It's 52 in here. The batteries were at 96% last night. Looks like they lost 10% overnight, and we really have nothing drawing other than the Solark and the well. Really weird. I don't know. We'll have to keep our eye on that.
Today we got a great deal on some doors.
What do we have here, Richie? It's like the price is right.
Our local lumber yard, I'm not sure if we should name names.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
But they have like a clearance section in the back where you go to pick up your lumber, and I just happened to be looking at these doors, and I asked the guy how much, and it turned out they were $25 a door for a solid wood 6-panel pine door,
pre-hung,
which is ridiculous price. I thought he was joking. So, and it turned out they had all the sizes that we actually need for our house. So we bought them all. The manager told me there's something wrong with every door, but so far I saw one little, like, you know, this little bump here. You know, there's like, I don't even know if you could see that.
There's 2 of them there, actually.
A couple little bumps.
Yeah, I don't know
could live
what
with
those
that
are.
for $25.
Once we stain that, nobody will see it.
So yeah, that was a great deal.
Really, really was. So that's how we save money.
Happy about that.
Clearance. So they were $25 each, and I looked up the least expensive pre-hung pine doors on Home Depot, and they ran a minimum of $305 each. So for $150 for 6 doors, if we just averaged it at $300, say, just for keeping it simple,
6 times 3 would be $1,800 for all these doors if
and
they were
we
brand
got
new.
right, and we got them for $150.
You know, even if they were $1,300 or $1,000, we got them for $150.
All 6. So
Yeah.
that's just a great deal.
Yeah.
And they're going to look beautiful, better than anything else we could have done. So some good ways to save money. And yes, our budget video will be coming. We are just,
Very busy.
yeah,
Trying to button this place up before the winter.
beating the clock here. And we're exhausted. And I honestly haven't even added up the budget. I'm afraid to. So anyway, that'll come probably over the winter when we have a little more downtime. So today we have a framing inspection.
Right.
So we passed our electrical rough inspection yesterday. Today we have a framing rough inspection. And
Then we can start closing up some walls.
So
We have
step
all
by
the
step.
materials here for the kitchen, so we're ready to start putting that together, and the bathroom. So we do have a lot of work to do.
So we're busy, and we're going to get to it. We had a little problem with the floor joists. We weren't getting the proper 2-inch clearance, so we have to remove a piece of one and reframe for the floor joist support.
All right, I got it out, Kathy.
Good job, Richie. So we got cleaned up a little bit. We carried in some of the doors, and wow, they do really look good. They're going to be beautiful. It's just unbelievable that they were $25 each. This door is probably the ugliest out of all of them, but I'll fill that in and it'll be fine. That's going into the utility room over here, so who cares? Richie got that joist ready. The vacuum's up there for me. I'm going to go up and vacuum. The inspector hasn't come yet, so we're still waiting for him. And we figured out the whole deal with the solar. We're really not drawing any power right now. So since our batteries are full, what's coming in is going out. So there could be a lot more coming in if we needed it, but we don't need it. All our power comes from the batteries. So there is a way to use just the excess solar, and we still have to figure that out. But like if I were to be running the washer machine right now or the refrigerator, we'd have a lot more solar being used. But right now, everything that we're generating is basically, most of it's being wasted. We're only using 200 watts right now. So you have 200 watts coming in, 200 watts going out from the batteries. They're just, everything is balanced, and that's it. So a bigger draw, we would use more from the solar. All right, well, the inspector was here. We have to raise this 3 more inches. A little miscalculation on our part. So we're going to take the ceiling. Are we going to take it out, or just push it up? We got to take it out.
Let's see what kind of work he did. It might be super strong, or it might just come right apart.
It's just sitting on top of the mortar, so it actually might come off pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll pop.
Yeah. All the screws are out.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I just need to tap.
It's loose. All right, not too bad. And it was tight to begin with, so I think that that's just the ceiling, not the...
Can you grab that half?
Sure can.
Yeah,
It's a little out, right?
Yep.
There it is.
All right, I got it.
Alright. Alrighty. Okay. So we're gonna do just another layer of bricks right over this. It'll be alright. We'll fix it.
Well, it looks like it comes right off.
Alright. It's not terrible. It doesn't have to be perfect either.
Oh, it comes right off in a nice layer.
Can you do this while I'm gone, you think?
I could, but what about the fridge? Didn't we want
clean
to?
it up?
And then,
all right, yeah. Let's go do the fridge fast because you're gonna need.
Yeah, this is gonna be fast. That's 10 minutes.
And then what I want to do here, depending on how this comes out, is just a little piece of brick peeking up that'll just look like there's brick there. Do you know what I mean?
Like a slice off of a face of one.
Right.
All right, so I got a job to do.
All right, let's do the fridge quick.
Great.
Oh, baby.
Kathy's happy.
Are you happy today, Kathy?
I'm so happy. It's been so hard without a refrigerator.
Cool.
Oh.
All right, it fits great.
Oh my gosh.
Plug it in.
So this was our most expensive appliance that we bought. Even the stove was not as expensive as this little fridge. Still, it was only like $700. But look, it's so low.
We can monitor it right from the solar panel as soon as we plug it in.
It's gonna use like next to nothing. I see the light, babe.
Right.
So we plugged in the fridge and we're still only pulling 200 watts.
Nothing.
That's amazing. I'm just happy to be able to buy stuff that I could put in the freezer. Richie's going back to work, and I am gonna get this baby stained. He's cutting me bricks. These are my pieces, just to make it look right. And tomorrow, we'll get this mortared up and done. What you got? Perfect. Thank you so much. Hopefully they stay and don't fall out.
I think once you cement them in there, they'll be fine.
Yeah. Yep, it'll be great. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, so hopefully we'll have a chimney in by this weekend.
Yeah, tomorrow's another busy day. We'll finish I'm gonna mortar up those bricks so that we could raise that ceiling, and we'll get that ceiling back in there. And then we're gonna do I'm gonna draw that next.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw up the tile on the floor so we can make sure we have all the specs right, and we'll start that mortar tomorrow.
Sure.
And we'll mortar the shower pan too at the same time.
We have to decide what kind of cuts you're gonna make on those tiles.
I'm gonna do that next. So, yeah, a lot to do. So that leftover wire that they used in the house, the electricians, that's what I did. I repurposed it, and I made these little ornaments to go on the top of Christmas presents.